Robert, I just want to thank you for meeting me and doing this session, and I really appreciate that and graciously accepting to do a recorded session, so I know that can be a little bit different. So I want to offer you at the end of the session, if there's anything you wanted to add or ask, we can do that after I turn off the recording, so if that makes you feel a little bit more comfortable with some things. But otherwise, we'll just get right into it with this tool that I have called the more or less chart, and I'll go into that a little more. Is there anything that is more pressing that you would like to address in this coaching session, or would you be willing to do this tool?
What do you mean?
Would you like to do talk about another topic maybe, or would you like to do the tool to kind of dissect down to a topic that we
can do the tool.
Okay, awesome. So a little bit of what to expect in this coaching session. This is just going to be kind of a shorter session. It's our first one. So what life coaching isn't is therapy. It's nothing like about your mental state or improving that. It's more about your life and maybe some short-term or long-term goals you're looking at, or maybe want to discover about yourself, and kind of dissecting down what are possible things that can get you there, and just kind of a guide to your inner knowing of, how you could get to what you want to be at, get to where you want to be at. And this is confident. I know it's being recorded, so it's a little bit different, but it's only going to be for, maybe a couple fellow classmates, and then my professor is going to review it. So yeah, this is just going to be a really powerful exercise. You're going to get out of it what you put into it. So I invite you to be really honest and, open. This is a judgment-free zone. And this is just really your time. And we can just kind of have fun with this tool and take it however you want. There's no guidelines. You can kind of answer what you like and whatever just feels natural. So I just want to allow you to take a couple moments to get comfortable and maybe take a couple deep breaths and get really centered. And just let me know whenever you're ready to start, and I'll guide you through the exercise.
I'm ready.
Okay. So it's really basic, more or less. So let's just go into some really basic bullet points of some things that you would like more of in your life. It can be really broad, like happiness, or, it can be going out more, having more friends in your life that you like, just some things that you think you would like more of in your life. Is there anything you can think of like that?
Yeah, let's start with the basic money.
Okay, sure. That's a good one. Yeah, and okay, sorry, let's get my notes together. Okay, so yeah, I'll write on the chart for you. So we've got money under more. What's another thing you'd like more of?
I think that money would be the first step to getting all the other things I need.
Okay, so yeah, definitely a root cause there. Okay, so what are things that you think you would like less of in your life? This could be things like stress or negative people, negative situations. It could be doing things that you feel obligated to do, things that aren't fulfilling. Anything you can think of that you would want less of in your life?
Less humans.
Really? So you want to kind of be more secluded in like a less suburban area?
No.
Just less humans in your everyday life?
Yeah. Overpopulation is obviously an issue. I can't do anything about it.
Okay. You mean like
if we're just listing things I'd prefer. Yeah.
Okay, definitely. Anything you'd like less of in your particular life? Any like stress, nothing like that? You're feeling pretty good?
I'm fairly adamant about relieving myself of things that are not positive.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, sounds like you have a really good system. Okay, so that's pretty narrowed down. It sounds like you have a lot of things under control. So let's look at this chart here. I'm going to invite you to look at the wholeness chart, which is just divided into 4 basic parts: emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual. So those are really broad, and they can kind of be whatever it really means to you. Physical, just kind of representing the physical body and health. Mental health and your thought processes. Emotional, your heart and your emotional health. And spiritual, just your connection to source, whatever spirituality means to you. So on a scale of 1 to 10, where you are in your life right now, how would you rate you are on a physical level?
Well, I actually see, it's funny how you put these, because mental is across from spiritual and physical is across from emotional. And I see physical and emotional as exactly the same. The same way I see mental and spiritual is exactly the same.
Wow, interesting. So describe that a little bit.
Well, I believe the emotions are kind of a physical reaction, and the mentality and spirituality are one and the same.
Okay, very interesting.
The perspective you see with is the same one I think that you are. I don't know. Mentality is like the way you think about the world, and I think spirituality is the way you think about the world.
Okay, so how would you rate that today in your life? Where are you at on that level with the mentality and spiritual level?
How do you mean? What's the gauge?
1 to 10 being 1, it's not very good, and 10 being you're exactly where you want to be with that in your life. You have plenty of good mentality, plenty of good spirituality. It's at the best it could possibly be.
Yeah, it's the average contentment. I don't believe in good or bad, really.
Okay. So you think you're totally fine there, and physical and emotional as well?
Yeah, as long as my physical vessel is maintained, that's good enough for me.
Awesome.
I think emotions are a choice. They're necessarily necessary for your mentality or spirituality to process things that happen.
Awesome. So you have a really good process already with your thought process and your balancing your health.
I call it contentment over happiness.
That's a nice little theory. I like that. Okay. So let's go back to one of the only really things that you have presented to coach around that we could possibly talk about was the money. So what do you think are possible steps or things that you could do? Is there anything you can even imagine that you could do to give you more money?
It's hard because I don't want to buy anything that gets sold or processed, and I don't want to sell anything that gets bought or sold, and I don't want to process anything that people buy or sell.
Right.
So
yeah, it's really tricky nowadays.
I think I want to be a kickboxer.
That's awesome. That's definitely awesome. Well, you definitely look like you could be they can't see you, but you're very tall and fit, so you're very intimidating in a rink, I'm sure.
It was also a direct quote from Say Anything with John Cusack. The whole buy anything that's solar process or something. Sorry, I just.
Oh, no, that's great.
You didn't catch it, but
Yeah, no, I haven't heard that.
Okay.
Okay.
I did not want to be a kickboxer. That was part of the quote.
Okay, I see. I figured that was a joke.
If you do show it to anybody, they might get that.
Yeah, sorry. Definitely. So anything else you think that would, even in your mentality or any kind of commitments you would make to bring more money into your life? Maybe doing research or possibly coming up with ideas, doing some kind of brainstorming exercise of what would bring more money into your life?
Well, the quandary for me is that I do need the money, but there's also only certain ways I'm willing to go about getting the money. And so one way I've found, which is inconsistent and impossible for me to gauge in the long run, is a community service project that I started called Big Rob's Odd Jobs, where I don't charge anything, but I accept donations, and I will do any odd job that I get hired for.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. That's way awesome. So you said you've actually done that before, or this is more of an idea mode?
No, I've been doing that since 2009.
Oh, really? So this is up and rolling. So is there anything you think that would bring that more business or more lucrativity? Are you already as busy as you possibly could be with that, or would you like to be more busy?
There are certain fences I can't necessarily get around because I'm not licensed in any way, and as a result, I can't exactly advertise a business, which is why I don't charge anything. And I'm lucky that anybody pays me. There have been plenty of people who do not pay me, but that's part of what I offer, because I do believe there's some amount of good that can come from exchanging services without any monetary compensation, because at some point in the history we used to do things just to do things.
Yeah.
Just to help.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really, really cool. Well, that's a good source of extra money, I'm sure. I mean, that's a really cool thing to have going.
Yeah. When a man truly needs help, it will come.
Yeah, that's a really awesome perspective. Well, that's really great. I mean, as far as a commitment to ask of you to commit to in the near future, what is something that you think would kind of help you bring more good into your life, more money or more anything you're seeking? Do you feel like there's anything that you could change that would enhance your life in any way? Keeping a gratitude journal, or doing guided meditations, or changing your diet, or anything that you would like to commit to in order to enhance any areas of your life?
I feel I can make multiple commitments all the time to myself for benefits in my life.
Yeah, definitely.
And there are plenty to continue making, yes.
Can you think of any off the bat, an example of something you do or would want to do?
Or I have already planned to do.
Mm-hmm.
I intend to write books someday.
That's awesome.
Is that
No, that's great. No, that's definitely something. Writing.
But technically, I already written my first book. It's just a children's book. I just haven't published it.
No, that's great. So that's like a solid goal you have in mind.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I've always had art on a back burner. I just don't necessarily know if I want to profit from it.
Right, right.
Art falls in the category of misinterpretation. So.
Yeah, very interesting. Okay, so that's really cool. So there's a couple things to kind of have twirling in your head. Maybe getting some inspiration together, or doing some exercises towards the book writing. That could be a kind of a nice commitment if that's something that you want to see in your more near future and see come into reality more. And you said you already wrote one. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a goal of yours to share it with anyone. Just, maybe totally nonprofit.
I recite it all the time.
Oh, you do? That's awesome. That's really awesome. Do you ever recite it at children's schools or anything?
I've recited it at Losos's library for a poetry reading.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
And I've recited other poems at multiple other venues, but not that one specifically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's way cool. Is that something you want to do more in your life, or do you feel like you do that a lot?
You know what? I think that the interesting part about this more or less chart is that I'm not a more person.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, maybe next time definitely a different tool would be more adequate for you, because you seem very, very content.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, it was really great talking to you and finding out more about your really unique and awesome outlook, and really being content and not feeling like you need very much more or less. And
appreciate you interviewing me.
Yeah. Well, definitely. Thank you for doing this coaching session with me. Maybe next time, I think with you would be really interesting, would be a guided meditation, and kind of getting your reflection on it would be really interesting. I don't have one with me right now, but that could be really cool. So, yeah, thank you so much again.
No worries. Thank you.